round. As this is a tricky matchup in and of itself. In the bottom left-hand side, it is Trap.
And spawning over in the top right-hand side, representing Alpha X, it is Astrea.
Okie dokie, Artichoke. I love this pylon by Trap. This is what I do, Ben. I don't see other protos do this. I really hope he does a single gateway and then goes for... Oh, but look at Astrea, Ben! Oh, but look at Trap, Ben! Oh, no, I can't believe you've done this.
This is... Okay, and Trap's probe is going to win as well. So Astrea was going for something very, very cheeky here. Like, that's his first pylon. Oh, my gosh. This is almost a GG moment right here.
It is pretty much, right? Like you said, it's his first pylon. Like, there is the Max Packs way of doing this where you drop your pylon back at home first, and then you have your second pylon, and you didn't cut probe production, and you have a pylon to work with back at home. Not the case here. First pylon gets found right away. This is funny, Ben, because it's exactly the epitome of everything we were talking about. It's Astrea metagaming Trap and Trap metagaming the metagame of Astrea, right?
Yeah, like, so this could have been Astrea knowing that Trap somehow always makes his gate on the low ground. And Astrea's like, you know what, I'm going to proxy 2-gate you, and it's going to be a GG kind of thing. Yeah. But Trap scouting like that, oh my gosh. Talk about
basically says, hey, I know what the hardest counter to what I'm doing is, or maybe is aware of a barcode of Astrea, and Astrea has tried this against him on the ladder or something of the sorts, right? Again, these players probably know each other quite well. There is a Cybercore dropped on the side of Astrea. This game is gonna be so very difficult as he is about also to get proxies targeted. Trap is not gonna give him any room to breathe here.
Certainly isn't. And you might be wondering at home, like, why did Astrea let that gateway finish? If he didn't let it finish, then he couldn't start his cybernetic score. You might be like, well, he could have made his gateway at home. It wouldn't have been that much later. He didn't have a pylon at home, mate. He was going for his first pylon outside of Trap's base. So, oh man, Astrea, this is so damn rough. Wait, he actually sneaked out a probe and is remaking the pylon there. I mean, I like it. He has to do something a bit wild, but oh, what a
I love that Trap spots it right away. Yeah, it's such a difficult position. I mean, I imagine Void Ray is going to come out of this target because it's so early that it's, it just makes sense. I wouldn't even mind that position fortified with something like shield batteries or something of the sorts. An Oracle is not out of the question here by any means. But I think a Void Ray, would just power through. There's a Void Ray indeed being made, and that's going to chew through this Stalker when it gets out. Part of the problem, Ben, also is when that is your first pylon, he wasn't producing probes throughout all of that. It's so expensive to drop your first pylon across the map, and he was banking on the fact that he was probably planning on dropping at least 2 gateways and using that bank to make zealots and to punish the low ground pylon setup from Trap. But instead it's looking all Trap here, Ben. I'm not sure how to pretend like there's much hope here.
Yeah, you can't spin this one, There's even if there was a shield battery here, even if there was a few shield batteries that could repair each other, it would be rough. And that second gateway gets denied again by Trap. And boom, there's a Void Ray in your base, Astrea. And Astrea at this point, he's probably thinking, oh, this game didn't quite go as I planned it.
Yeah, 2 shield batteries being dropped, so the Void Ray could very well overcharge it if he wants. I would have liked to see that, actually, just to get rid of those as soon as possible. But it seems like Trap might be looking elsewhere at the moment. Now he's looking back at the Void Ray as 2 Stalkers and a Void Ray of Astreas are being produced. This is kind of, I mean, Trap is looking for the sure victory, I suppose, over time with this little bit of harassment, right? He's just saying, you know what, you're not going to catch up ever. I think you could have looked for the kill straight up, but this works too. I mean, he is so far ahead.
Yeah, to Astrea's credit, though, I think he handled that pretty well. Like, he was kind of panic building 2 shield batteries and cancelled one of them, realizing he didn't need both of them straight away.
Yeah.
But Trap... Like, he's got more Void Ray, he's got more everything. He's even got his X-Bot. Like, in every way, shape, and form, Trap is just super... Oh my gosh, he even tried to get the pylon up again, and Trap sees the warp in again.
Yeah, and it's for me, it's not an issue if I don't need that shield battery either, Ben. It's more like I need 2 more probes, right?
Yeah.
So he is just trying to do whatever he can. But 3 Void Rays are gonna find one of the Void Rays of Astrea, and that will be a little bit too much for him to handle. as Trap takes a very decisive Game 1 victory on the back of build orders alone, Rachel.
Yeah, build orders alone. Like, Astrea went into this series with some knowledge about how Trap plays, maybe wanting to just go at him, get a cheeky win on the board, but man, that's one of those things when cheese backfires, my friend. When cheese backfires, because as soon as that he scouted the pylon, never mind the gateways going up or anything like that, and killed the probe as well.
Yeah, just merciless. That was brilliant by Trap, absolutely brilliant. Thinking about, what Astrea could do to counter him and being one step ahead, that is just fantastic. And a lot of the times, I remember when State, if you remember him, went to Korea and he participated in his GSL. In his first GSL game, I was, with my root shirt on and, waving flags and stuff around in my room with some sort of hat or something, drinking a beer. And then the very first game, Cest just double proxy gated him and killed him in 2 minutes. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of merciless. And Astrea tried to do something like that to Trap, but Trap is, Trap. So.
So the next game is going to be on NA. So that does mean that Astrea isn't in Korea.
Yeah.
I wonder what the server rules are here this season, because playing on the Korean server, unless I don't know where Astrea's actually located in North America.
That's the thing. I think some of the North American, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I think he's West Coast, but maybe not. He must be West Coast then, because if he's West Coast, then West Coast NA is best for Korea, but then it's too good for Astrea type thing. So maybe that's why we're balancing things out.
Interesting. So the second map of this best of 3 will be Pillars of Gold. This is a much easier map to get away with. Oh, that's some beautiful monster right there that you're drinking. It matches your bow tie, Cats.
Of course it does. That's why I got it. Yeah, I got 4 different colors of monster just to make sure. And then I tried on different bow ties and I was like, okay, I guess I'm drinking the pink monster. What, you thought I wanted a pink monster? I never tried it before. It's delicious, by the way.
Yeah. I just thought I'd bring it up. So Pillars of Gold is a map where building your first pylon on the low ground, like getting away with a real fast nexus, is far more viable, because you actually start off with that ramp, and I don't know how the Void Ray meta is affecting PvP right now, but I have seen this is the map where Protosses can go nexus first if they do it at all.
Yeah, definitely. The ramp is so important to deny that vision. It's different. It's also a choke and the ramp both going up to that natural expansion. On this particular map, Ben, I really like something like Proxy Void Rays at the 3rd, because with shield batteries, you can basically siege the main or the natural very easily. So that could come into play, and we've seen it come into play on this map in Astrea versus Neeb. That was a bananas game a couple of seasons ago. But a couple of not this season, but the last rather. So anything can happen. Void Rays are really strong right now in PvP in particular, because they beat a lot of things. They are kind of like a poor man's immortal in a sense against gateway units, against stalkers in particular. But they also fly and they kill other stuff, and they don't fare poorly against, say, other flying units that kind of counter them, like Phoenix, but they'll still trade, kind of okay. They're kind of just a very well-rounded unit. So know that we're going to see some more of that.
I like how you call them a poor man's immortal. They're never wasting fire on things like zealots, purely because of how attack moving works. Like, you always prioritize a unit that can shoot back at you as opposed to a unit that can't. So they do always fire at the right things, like the stalkers usually, which is absolutely what you want them to be shooting at because of the armor type. But yeah, when you started talking about because it can siege the main base, I'm like, I know all about that, Cats. I played Max Packs 8 times in a row today with these Void Ray builds, sieging my main. I'm like, oh god, I hate life.
I guess that's even better against Terran for the most part, because you can just do it right away, kind of.
Against Pro, shield battery back.
Yeah, indeed. Against Pro. So what did you do? Did you go Cyclones?
I died.
All right. Did you try Cyclones? I think Cyclones is one of the better.
I died, man. I died. I was tilting out of my mind. I was like, I couldn't even get units out. It was like I got 3 Marines trying to get in a bunker, and I'm like, gosh darn it! Nothing's going right.
The first thing you said to me today was that you got farmed.
Farmed.
You got farmed out by Max Packs. That's amazing. You did take one game. How did that happen?
He didn't make Void Race.
All right. So we are now loaded into pillars and gold, as you would call it, Ben. And spawning in the top right-hand side of the map as the blue Protoss player for Jin or Green Wings, it is Trap.
And spawning over on the opposite side, it is Astrea. Astrea's been cheeky this series, man. Like, look at this. He's gone for one extra probe and the pylon, but that is the fastest gateway you can possibly get, meaning he's going for the fastest cybernetic score as well.
That is very true indeed. And look at Trap. That is Chad, right? It's like I established my dominance. I'm gonna go for the same exact thing. You could not punish it, and you cannot punish it. He will again check for the proxies as well, which I really appreciate, giving his opponent all the respect in the world in that sense. And
yeah, I think the scouting's a little bit less Chad, you know.
Yeah, it's a little bit less Chad for sure.
it's like a beta Chad.
Yeah.
Okay, so they both see each other's probes knocking about, and I mean, that's no alarm bells or anything, but for Trap, he can be like, okay, there's obviously no proxy going up just yet, because there's no point having two probes, like a second probe coming out now.
Oh, Ben, look at the location of that probe. You know where that's going. You've just played Max Packs. And with this double gas and how fast you were talking about the cyber core is and everything, I think everything that we were talking about, Ben, is about to happen. I think we're about to see Void Race in this very annoying location of pillars and gold.
As Rotterdam says, by the way, not me. Okay, so Trap is seeing this, by the way, given that, in fact, okay, so he did go Nexus before Cybercore, but Astrea has just kind of led him to this proxy, which I guess at this point you can't stop it. Although he is,
I'm not sure. I think you can stop it. I don't think Astrea wanted to lead him to his proxy. I think he wanted to kind of go in with his probe. But remember, the probes crossed each other's paths, and Trap has a probe in Astrea's main, so he knows that there's a pylon missing. So, I mean, this position was going to get checked anyway, is probably what Astrea was thinking. Maybe if he runs in with the probe into Trap's base, he can delay things. But regardless, it's the luck of the draw. It's tough for Astrea, but let's see what he can do with it. It is a very strong position, and Void Race, Ben,
I'm not sure if this is going to be stopped, Tax. Like, that is two pylons now. The shield batteries are here. And yeah, with the Adept here, just like the Adept obviously deals so much damage to that Zealot, but I'm curious as to what Trap's counter to this is going to be. He's on two bases, which is great, but now he's got to worry about both bases, two locations to defend against this.
Yeah, and that's going to be super annoying. And I'm with you, Ben. And also the fact that Trap committed for the defense, that means he thought, I can stop this, right? I scouted it right away. There must be a way that I can stop it. That's what he thought. And when he commits to the... okay, the Stalker will make it out.
But, I mean, that died before the shield battery got up. That's the big deal here, I think. And it slows down the warp gate as well. And obviously, this is a bit of a tempo push, right? Like... This is obviously a super all-in, but that's going to be two Void Rays very soon against just 3 Stalkers for now.
And here's the thing, the Stalkers always have to go up and down that ramp where there's no shield batteries and no protection for them. So that's where the Void Rays can strike and kind of zone them out. Go for the pylon. If the Stalkers get in position, then you go for the Stalkers. And I love this. Just leverage your... Gonna get a Stalker there. Leverage the prismatic alignment, essentially. Work with those cooldowns.
Yeah, I actually like the fact that they're both on different cooldowns now as well. One prismatic alignment is enough to kind of scare it away, Stalkers. Yep. And look at this Void Ray count. Oh my god, he just picked one off. It was out of range of the shield battery there.
They kill stuff so fast, Ben. I mean, my favorite thing in the world is to do this when Terrans go Cyclones and then they lock on, but by the time they try to start running away, the friction makes it so that they can't, because the Void Ray will shoot it down, and it's exactly what we're seeing here in spite of the... but a shield battery overcharge! The one kryptonite of everything.
It certainly is, but Trap's not out the woods yet at all. And he's actually got a contest with Stalkers now. And also, that battery overcharge, it's a minute cooldown, so And is one scout, is one way of getting across the map to find out what the hell's going on? It's gone. Even to kill probes, it's gone. That is a happy Zealot, though.
Oh, very happy, especially if he gets this final IQ. Oh, he will. That Zealot. I feel like he was about to die, but then he was like, no, just one more, you know?
Yeah. He was definitely like, oh, no. Okay, that shield battery died so fast. And then...
Oh, you don't want... No, not into prismatic alignment trap. You can't do this. Not into prismatic alignment void race.
Well, void rays are pretty good. Void rays are pretty good. You know,
I mean, I think he had to wait it out a little bit, lose a few probes, run them away or something. You just cannot go into 4 prismatic alignment void rays in this fashion. I think this was brilliantly played from Astrea, but mostly not even played. It was the strategic choice, right? It said, okay, you cannot stop this if you do your thing. Wow.
Yeah, and guys, it's fast, but we're going to be having a short break to find out who wins this series.
Buongiorno, and we are gathered here back to conclude the series of Trap versus Astrea. It is my favorite map in this map pool, Ben. It's gonna be Golden Wall. The series has already been quite cheeky. Do you expect one of these players is gonna use the backyard early on?
I don't know if it's going to get to that so far. You know, we're 2 games in, we're 1 apiece in this best of 3 so far, and it's been 10 minutes, cats. Like, we've seen Astrea try and cheese, failed miserably. We've seen him try and cheese again, it went as successful as can be, and it feels like Astrea's got a bit of a good read on what Trap's going for. And that second game was way better for him. And if Trap goes to that same kind of build again, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I think Void Rays are kind of pretty good right now.
Yeah, definitely. But this is not a map where you can have that same setup that Astrea had, right? If you have proxy Void Rays on this map, you can only threaten the natural unless you mine your own minerals in the back and position the starport in the backyard, as I'm calling it, where you can actually see it between the main and the natural, similarly to what he did last time around. So I'd be curious if that's his approach, because Trap, honestly, from what I've seen here, maybe he's unwilling to deviate because it's such a strong opening, and I agree with him, by the way. I love doing that because most people won't punish it, but I think Astrea just showed that it does have weakness, and I wonder if Trap is going to adapt. It looks like he will.
And speaking of the man spawning over in the bottom right-hand side of Golden Wall, it is Trap.
Yes, indeed. And again, adapting not with a low ground pylon, but on the other side of the map in the red corner, it is Alpha X's Astrea.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get a very different PvP here. And Astrea, so far, by the way, not really going for the scout, which is different to what he's done in the previous games, because he had a probe immediately on the map. That was the first thing. I know a lot of players go for like the scout after the second gateway starts or after the cyber core, but Trap, he wants to find out exactly what's going on straight away. Oh, bit of a blunder there.
Blunder indeed. You hate to misclick buttons on your left hand side, then.
Buttons.
Yeah.
Hate to misclick buttons, mate.
Yeah, because click sounds more like a mouse thing, but I'm talking about the keyword hand, you know?
Ah, yeah. I know what you mean. It is funny how we say misclick for everything that goes like, that's a miss.
Yeah, what would it be? A miss? Is there another word that's more specific if I want to say I misclicked with the keyword?
Mispress?
Mispressed. Mispressed.
Like,
yeah.
In reality,
yeah.
you know, if you...
That is better. Yeah, it's mispressed. I like it. Go on.
If you misclick on something, like let's say you play an FPS game and you, like, you know, you miss and you click, isn't that kind of like a miss wrist or a miss finger? Like, because it's not really the clicker's fault. He's got very little to do with that click not being on it.
That's a good point. You did click. Like, the click did not technically miss.
He gets blamed for a lot.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. But I mean, if we accept the terminology for the sake of simplicity, right, at least, then misclick should not apply to the keyword still. It should be a mispress, I think. You're right. All right, so Trap is gonna go for a nifty from both players, actually, mining the minerals or getting access to the other side of the map in one way or the other. Astrea is going to find the expansion of Trap. I wonder if he's gonna do something to punish it.
So let's have a look. So what did Astrea scouted the wall, and he's like, okay, this is a little bit weird here. You've got like just one gateway, totally something's going on, and he scouts behind. Now, Trap did see that mineral missing, right? Like, you don't see that and just go like, oh, yeah, nothing could be happening.
Trap saw it. No. Trap knows that Astrea is back there. But it's more important for Astrea to get back there once he scouts that wall like that you were mentioning, simply for the fact that Trap could be going for a very fast starport, or he could just be expanding, right? And you need considerably different approaches. And look, he's even accounting for the proxy starport, which is not going on the side of Trap.
I wonder what Astrea's going to be going for, though. Because so far, no tech has been revealed. He does have 4 stalkers in his base. Like, he doesn't know exactly where that adept is, but he has to respect the shade constantly. And Trap, he has a War Prism on the field, and he's getting an Immortal. So, pretty damn safe play by him. Oh, what's being warped in by Astrea? These are very aggressive warp-ins, I believe.
Yeah, it's gonna be stalkers all the way here. That War Prism could be in a little bit of danger if it gets found by the rest of the stalkers, but no, they are gonna have to go and make their way through those minerals. So yet still, the War Prism might be forced to recall. It is 2 adepts in it, so they can kind of just ignore that shield battery and do damage. And the Immortal's already here on the side of Trap, but no shield batteries on the low ground, so this is still something to worry about.
these two, when they went into this series, they were like, you know what? We're going to bring the heat straight away. 2 Adepts are in the main base of Astrea. But Astrea
Trap has to go down a choke. Yeah, oh, I'm surprised Astrea actually gives him the room to walk down, but I guess not seeing up that ramp is so difficult. But now with the room down the ramp, I mean, and 2 Immortals to shoot all at the same time, this is what I was saying. If Astrea just tried to hold down the ramp, he could have shot the units one by one and taxed them and killed the Immortals as they pop, but still, he will pounce onto one of them regardless. The other one will also go down quickly, and actually, Astrea looks like he's doing this, Ben. On the other side, of course, Trap is still doing a lot of damage, so it's not all said and done, but Astrea holding strong with the Stalker numbers. It's looking like a 2-1 potential.
But for who? But for who? There is another Immortal out. Does have a shield up and running.
No.
And, yeah, Trap's actually 9 supply ahead now. Both 25 probes.
Yeah, I got a little bit excited there, but these Adepts have done so much. 5 kills on them as well. And the next Immortal that you were pointing out to, it will... Oh, Astrea not paying attention. No.
That's one of those moments. Big Daddy Immortal just cleaned up 5 Stalkers almost single-handedly there. Oh, rough.
Yeah, and it's gonna be nearly unrecoverable from this position for Astrea. Very difficult game. What a strong start. It was looking good for a little bit there. I really think he could have done a little bit better positionally, but I'm not sure. To be honest, with those sentries, maybe they could have displaced the Stalkers and pulled them far back enough that a lot of the units of Trap could have fired even while going down that ramp. I'm not sure, but it's looking all Trap now, Ben.
Yeah, I think it was just nicely handled by Trap, like getting the Immortals out quickly. The sentries bought time for the second Immortal. Warp Prism does go down. That might be able to buy Astrea a little bit of time, but oh, nice forcing by Trap there.
Yeah, and all the probes are being pulled. I mean, hold on for a second. Okay, there are more Immortals than there are Stalkers. Ben, this is yeah.
Well, I won't say it